I think making a sculpture is like making an embodiment of your thought and like who you want to be and like what do you want to like have you represented as. And my answer will always be like something positive.
Hi there, and welcome to What's Up, a moCa media production. I'm DJ Hellerman, Deputy Director and Senior Curator here at moCa Cleveland. In this podcast, we focus on art now, conversations with artists about art, ideas, and why making matters. Today we're speaking with Maggie Menghan Chen. Maggie's based in Beijing and is a multimedia artist. Her exhibition, Bodybuilding Exercise, is on view at moCa through January 4th of 2026. Let's find out what's up with Maggie.
Hello, my name is Maggie Menghan Chen. I'm an artist. I make video and sculpture. Now I have the bodybuilding exercise showing with moCa Cleveland right now.
Bodybuilding exercise is a slight, maybe anomaly in terms of your artistic practice. Is on view. I'm wondering if you could talk about the video, how the idea came up, and when you decided to make that video.
Yeah, so it was such a like whimsical decision. We shot it, I think it was March or April 2020, where when COVID just like broke out in China. And just for a bigger context, I moved back from New York where I went to college, where I graduated. I went back in January, and it was just shortly after that. So I was really like adjusting to kind of a new lifestyle, like the whole like COVID situation. I wasn't think of like making an artwork specifically. It was more like a fun project that I can like get my friends together and like shoot something together and like get like stuff out there on social media for like my friends all abroad in the US and like different parts of China. So I like choreographed it. My friend Felicita, who's an amazing musician based in London, did a bit scoring for us. And I've also this friend who has this small photo studio and was also a cameraman who shot this clip for us. And have this stylist friend who has contact with this girl who made this like bubbly like costume for her graduate collection. So it just all came together in a very short notice and was just a fun thing to make.
One of the things that struck me when I found the video was how interesting it is that you at that time decided to make a video that was so heavily collaborative when the world was, forcibly or asked to be isolated.
I know, we were lucky.
How did you do that? Like the technical or practical aspect of how did you all actually collaborate on the video?
So I for the like dancing part, I like just did the like choreography myself, and I like taped it with my laptop, and I sent the clip to my friend, and we've like danced together before, so like we were good friends as well. And she was kind of like just all right, and we were like taping like bits by bits in the studio, so it's not just one long take. And what we wasn't aiming for like perfection either, so it was a bit like really just trying to engage people and like show like fun where like sometimes you didn't see the like moves, like shooting error, I think. And we had this like really crazy like I don't even know how to describe it, like crump dance in the end, like metal dance in the end. I remember this like YouTube video of like introductory like metal dance, like just two guy in like a garage with like really super low resolution clip on YouTube. And I was just so fascinated, and we just picked up some moves. It was just like throwing things around, like just like being silly. And I thought it was so like cathartic in a way to just like get the like get your energy out and like sweat a bit. Yeah, it's always good for people like audience worldwide.
And what was the reception like? Because when you released this, it was intended to be released on social media. Did you have a specific channel in mind, and what was the reception like when you did that?
It was like mostly just through my Instagram account, and then there's this platform called AQNB, which is now like unfortunately shut down, but like they picked up on that because they were friends with a solicitor who scored the video, and we did a bit interview, and they have a bigger Instagram following account, so I guess we kind of released through AQNB. Yeah, but it wasn't like a campaign thing. I didn't have any plan or anything in mind. It was just like to get it out there, like, yeah.
So let's take a step back, and I'm wondering if you could talk to me about your life and your decision, whether it was a decision or, how it happened that you became an artist.
Right. So I went to, so I was born and raised in China, in Beijing. I went to NYU. I did my major in art history from 2016 to 2019. I was supposed to graduate in 2020, but I got like one semester earlier, which let me going back to China like 3 months before I was supposed to graduate, which was right on the brink of COVID outbreak. So I was in China doing the whole thing. And it was also the time that I thought if I should be more serious about like being an artist and like actually make work and like plan for myself, because I never went to art school, and I have like some friends who were studying like fashion and stuff in London. So I just applied and I got in, and I deferred for a year because like it wasn't looking that great in the UK. So I went to London for my Master's in Fine Art at Chelsea College of Art in 2021. I was there till this April when I moved back to China. Yeah, that's the short version, which also explained my like really mixed up accent of like British and American accent. Yeah, that explains it.
Why did you decide to study art history initially?
Cause I was really good at like liberal arts subjects back in high school, and I thought I should study like history, and I got into like this liberal arts program at NYU. Then I took this art history class because art history wasn't a thing in China, because it's mostly like Western art history that we're taught. And I took this class, and I was like, that can be an actual subject that is so fun. So I kind of just took it on, and like, yeah, that became my major. But I also like did a minor in digital art and design, where I got really familiar with like the Adobe suite, and I like taught myself to do like Blender, like 3D modeling, like on YouTube. That's also like a really big part of like how I ended up doing sculpture, because I like model stuff on a 3D software, and then I started printing them when I had access to a 3D printer when I was in Chelsea in London. Yeah.
And have you always had a tactile sensibility?
In what way? Sorry.
Like have you always kind of made things in your life? Like were you always?
I guess so. Yeah. Like before, like even during high school, I was kind of this like amateur fashion blogger. I was like writing, like was publishing like just journals and like I don't know, like fashion really like kind of stuff in during high school. So I was always trying to be creative. That I think is true.
That's one of the things I think is so interesting about bodybuilding exercise is that it's
Right.
so interdisciplinary. And it does show a lot of some of your interests in fashion or music,
Right. Yeah.
video production, those kinds of things. When I first learned about your work, and I was doing research for an exhibition, I was looking into your sculptures that
right.
are so beautiful, and
Thanks so much.
they're like, you know, these beautiful surrealist objects. They're so, the materiality of them is so interesting, and I was kind of doing a little bit of a deep dive on your website and understanding what you were making and producing, and at the very bottom was this other little thing that looks,
hidden.
yeah, it was kind of like hidden in the very bottom corner. So when I reached out to you, I was wondering what you were thinking about the idea that bodybuilding exercise would potentially be shown in a museum context as opposed to being sent through social media or in a place where people are in isolation. Now we're showing the work where people are necessarily coming together.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I see that. I mean, the like main points of making that was also to get people to like work out a bit and like enjoy it and like see it as a fun thing, and not see dance as something like you have to have the skill of to do, but really like be creative and like just throw your limbs around and do. So I guess that is still like very much valid in a museum setting. Yeah.
It's really great to see people enter the gallery space as strangers. You know, like if there happen to be two groups of people or more walking into the museum, and they walk into the space where the video is projected and then realize that it's an invitation, you know, to participate and move their body. And then realize that they're not just in their own kind of safe space of intimacy with whoever they came to the museum with. They're actually sharing that space with someone that they don't know at all. So there have been really interesting moments of strangers participating at the same time, or where there seem to be no inhibitions are like two children or younger people who don't know each other kind of dancing in front of the video at the same time. So that's been a really interesting thing to watch.
I love the yoga mats that you throw on the floor. Really like encouraging. That is great.
Yeah, we wanted to make it very clear that it was about moving your body in space.
Yeah, amazing.
But without pushing too far into making it an installation that it wasn't.
Yeah, of course.
So kind of like walking that line of being very intentional that here's a space for you to do something, but it's also not necessarily part of you know, your construction for the installation.
Cool.
Let's talk about your sculpture a little bit. What's your process for making sculptures? Like, how do you move from an idea into an object? Where do the ideas come from? Because when I see your sculptures and know your art history background, I see art history references kind of running through all of those sculptures. I'm just curious how that works for you.
I think right now at the moment, it really just started from like a sketch that like kind of like pops into my mind. Then I like draw it down and put it in the 3D software. So then you have the front view of the potential sculpture. Then I kind of like make the silhouette and like think what it would look like on the side. So once I figure out the front and side view, that's pretty much the like whole figure. Then I take it to the factory, whether it's like aluminum casting or like wood cutting, woodworking. But I think you're like more asking about how I got the idea. I would say that I have a like really big bank of like pictures. I'm like an image hoarder in a way. So I like load lots of reference into my subconscious in a way, if that makes sense. So they kind of like just come up randomly. Yeah, if that makes sense.
The scale of the work can shift pretty dramatically to something that's, you know, more related to like the hand, and then there's some installations or sculptures that are at the scale of the body in a certain way. What are you hoping for someone to kind of experience as they see the work in person?
Right. I'm really hoping like people would get that like the work is a representation of like a inner landscape in a way. Like it's very much like rooted in like psychology and like the like inner feelings and like how they're like symbolic of like psychological transformation in a way, that they're not just like playing hybrids of like stuff, but they like represents something deeper, and this very much like relatable as a person. For example, the like I don't want to say my best, but like my best for now series, the Racing of Joy, is really like how the like metal flowers and like plants was growing out from this like grotesque tiger's limb. It's more like how you arrive at like a higher consciousness from the really like ancient and like messed up state of being, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think the work is often talked about in terms of transformation, but there's I feel a lot of growth from the work. Like
that's great. Thank you. That's amazing.
Like ideas of sprouting, or like there's always kind of like in that way, I read like the work with that idea of like growth and sprouting. There's a kind of a wide-eyed experience of like of wonder that happens. And it's, to me, it reads as a very kind of optimistic practice. Would you?
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely an optimistic message that I want to send out. I think making a sculpture is like making an embodiment of your thought and like who you want to be and like what do you want to like have you represented as. And my answer will always be like something positive and like optimistic and like hope and like things to look forward to. And going back to you saying like sprouting, I would love my sculpture to be like, I would love them to like capture, to be a capture of a moment. So when you see of like a rose, like even though it's static, you know that it's growing, either like sprouting, growing up, or dying. So there's always this like implicit like notation of them being alive and like either like on the upward circle or like downward. Yeah, and like for example, like a lot of my work are kind of like triangular, which the like flower would be the like top points of that triangle, so it kind of hints that it's still like growing up, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes total sense. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
I wonder if we can talk for a second about when I first reached out to you to show bodybuilding exercise. The part of the reason for that was Clotilde Jimenez's exhibition deals a lot with bodybuilding and boxing in a certain kind of way. So sometimes we program the space to where there's connections among the work, and sometimes those are very overt connections. And in this instance, it's not. We don't emphasize it. It's just kind of a nice connection. But when I reached out to you, I was prepared to kind of give this full like introduction to moCa Cleveland. You know, I'm like,
Yeah.
here we are in university, you know, here we are like near Case's campus. We have this amazing architecturally significant building by Farshid Musavi. Like there's this, I was getting ready to do kind of the full court press to kind of, you know, help, you know, sweeten the deal a little bit, to be like, you know, would you be interested in showing this work here and kind of introducing moCa and Cleveland to you. And all that preparation was unnecessary because in that conversation, I learned that you had been to moCa.
I have indeed.
So I'm wondering if you'd share that story. Like, you know, you studied in New York. Why did you come to Cleveland, and why of all places had you visited moCa?
It's actually like somebody I used to date, and like this person had like a job or like gig thing in Cleveland, and like they asked me to join because like we can have like free stay and everything. I just have to like pay for the flight, which was like, I forgot, like $80. It wasn't that much. So I said yes, and like just jumped into this like weekend getaway thing, and like definitely moCa was the place to stop by. Yeah, it was really nice to be there and like explore what it would like to have like such a like massive museum in Cleveland.
That's awesome. Let's talk about and what if we could talk about a couple specific works that you're making, like recent works that are not on view here at moCa, but that are part of your sculpture practice. And the most recent work that I had become familiar with was Rest. And I'm wondering if you would kind of just talk about that work a little bit for us.
Sure.
Maybe if it might take a second for you to pull it up in your mind.
Yeah, I'm doing that right on my lap.
Yeah. So you pull it up in your mind.
Okay,
but maybe the form of it, the materiality of it, your idea for it. I'm wondering if you'd talk about Rest.
Yeah, thanks for keeping up with my practice, first of all. And so Rest is a leaf shape and also like a reclining female body. Because my work is always about bringing together like an animal and a plant form, and in this case, a leaf and a human. So I think it's really straightforward that it's about resting, and like the gold leaf on the wood here is kind of saying like it is really like rest is holy. Like there's this like intrinsic like holiness in resting. Like rest is definitely like not a waste of time, not equal to lazy or whatever. And that I think is definitely very much linked to like where I was or where I am in life, that like moving a lot and like adjusting to new life all around. And that's definitely like also a message that I was thinking of sending out, that like it's okay to be at ease, like make yourself comfortable. And the sculpture being on the floor is also like, it's kind of in a really humble way, that like being on the floor and like it's quite low that you look down on it, but it's really like beautiful, like shining gold in a way. Yeah. And
maybe to talk about a little bit of an older work, but only by a year or so, Let Life Live Through You. And that's is that a little bit of a series for you?
Yeah, that I'm still like developing for sure. That was like more specifically from a book about plant intelligence, of how like plants actually have memories, and they like evolve as a species, like adapting to like climate change and like human behavior. And it just like I remember one story, like how like rye was like, I don't know, like 1,000 years back was like a weed that would be like cut out from the wheat like plantation, if you get it. And like like why actually like evolve as a species to like be like to be more like weeds and actually like beneficial for human being, that like human wouldn't like just cut them out. That was really like powerful and mind blowing to me. Like I've got like friends around who like, this sounds like messed up, but like like casually talk about like dying while like killing themselves or like jumping like out of the window, like just as a joke. But like they kind of like have meant it. But like looking at plants and like how they like evolve and like try to strive as a species just to like be alive and like keep their like genes, which is really like, and it was such a like innate process. They don't have a brain, they don't like think as like we humans do, but they have such a like strong will to like just keep it going, like just try to be alive. So like in these two work, I guess I was trying to say like there's something like bigger than you, bigger than like your consciousness, your brain for sure, that is just like playing life, that like always try to thrive and like try to find love, try to like be passionate about like where you are. And it's definitely beneficial if your consciousness, like more specifically maybe your brain, like try to collaborate with that and like be like on the same line with life and like just let it live through you in a way. Yeah.
Where are you? What's exciting you right now?
What's exciting? How to sell more work. I'm sorry.
That's
but
great.
Like, if I'm being really honest with you, I think I am like proud of like what I make, and I'm really like comfortable with like making work and like showing them right now. I don't really feel like I'm on like a creative block ever. So like maybe try to like be better at like surviving the actual world would be nice. Okay.
Is there anything about your work or even your process that doesn't get said often that you wish would, or is often misunderstood?
Okay, maybe a bit random that but I did something called like value ranking test, like a personality like ranking the other day, and my first was like wisdom, and like second like runner up, which is also really important, with inner peace. So like in a sense that I believe if you have like, it's really important to be like peaceful. It's even more important than like health, family, love, and like wealth in a way. So I guess my sculptures really reflects a kind of need to like stay balanced and be like peaceful, like within you in a way.
I'm wondering if you would walk us through one of your artworks in 1 minute.
Okay. Okay, maybe let's do this like giant tiger with like a large feet and this like sprout coming out called like false sense of self. That's the like, I think the largest work that I made so far. So from its title, false sense of self, the like grotesque tiger shape, the like saber-toothed tiger like scrolling represents the self, the like that you like identify too much with what your brain thinks you are, and that like so the like grotesque outcome of the tiger's shape is an individual's like deep identification with the mind and thoughts as their sense of self, but it's like actually much bigger and like greater than that. and the like small like sprouts coming out that's in aluminum on the top is kind of the silver lining, the like that symbolize hope, that you always have like pure life running through you that can like cut off like heavy identification with the self and like be in one with something greater.
In moCa's logo, there's a capital C.
Right.
And that was a design decision to represent contemporary and Cleveland. I'm wondering if there is a C word that connects with you or your practice.
My last name? Kidding. Great question. I have a think. The word like centered just popped into my mind. It's about like staying like centered, find your center, not get like stuck in like everyday chaos and like chaos on the news, on like a more global perimeter. Just how to stay like balanced, centered in your personal life and like the sense of you as an individual in a greater world.
There's so much optimism and like exploration and sense of wonder in the practice, and then there's also this real daily reality of what it is to be an artist.
100%.
Why do you think it matters right now? Why do you think the work you're making is mattered? Why do you think just the idea of making matters, being an artist right now?
I think what you said about like selling work, it was half joke, but like I was really meant to say like how my work like situate in the society in a larger sense, instead of just like being in my headspace and like contemplating all day. It's about how like other people would see it and how like what like kind of impact they would have, and how to like bridge the gap between my intention and like people getting it and like feeling the change from the work.
Well, Maggie, that was a great conversation. Thank you. It's a total pleasure and a lot of fun to have bodybuilding exercise here at moCa. So I just can't thank you enough, and excited for people to see your work for the rest of the season.
Amazing. Yeah, I'd love to be in Cleveland at some point and like see you guys and revisit the building again. Yeah, it'd be really lovely. Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening to this episode of What's Up, where artists share their process, passion, and why art making matters today. For more information and show notes, check out mocacleveland.org. Please like and share this episode, and as always, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. See you soon.
What's Up is a presentation of moCa Media. Copyright 2025. All rights reserved. This episode was hosted by DJ Hellerman and produced by DJ Hellerman and Tom Poole. Special thanks to Adam Zaccaro for consulting production and audio engineering. Guest opinions are their own and do not necessarily reflect those of the host or moCa Cleveland. Thanks for listening.